The gates of the Hayes estate in Beverly Park stood tall and imposing, wrought iron painted midnight black. Behind them sat a modern fortress of glass and steel, the kind of house featured in architecture magazines. Dr. Marcus Hayes owned 3 private hospitals across California, and his wealth showed in every polished surface. But wealth couldn't buy peace. Inside those pristine walls, staff members walked on eggshells. The chef kept her head down. The housekeeper timed her cleaning to avoid certain hours. Even James, the driver who'd worked for celebrities and tech moguls, had considered quitting twice in 6 months. The problem wasn't the house. It wasn't even the work. The problem was Mrs. Victoria Hayes. At 35, Victoria looked like she'd stepped off a runway in Milan. Tall, blonde, always dressed in designer labels, even for breakfast. Her perfume cost more than most people's monthly rent, and her words could cut deeper than any surgeon's scalpel. She was Dr. Hayes's second wife. The first had passed away 5 years ago, leaving behind a sadness that lingered in the hallways like morning fog. In 8 months, 12 private nurses had quit. Some lasted 3 days. One made it to 2 weeks. Another left in the middle of her shift, driving away without collecting her final paycheck. Nobody bothered learning names anymore. Then Maya Rodriguez arrived. She came with just a backpack and a worn leather purse. Dark curls pulled into a practical bun. Scrubs that had seen too many hospital shifts. Eyes that had witnessed too much to be easily intimidated. The head housekeeper, Mrs. Chun, barely glanced at her. Mrs. Hayes will be down in 20 minutes. Don't touch anything in the East Wing. Don't ask personal questions. Don't expect her to remember your name. Maya nodded. She'd heard worse warnings before. She had one reason for being here. Her son, Carlos, 7 years old, fighting leukemia at Children's Hospital. The treatment costs were drowning her. This job paid triple what she'd made at the county hospital, and it came with premium health insurance that covered Carlos's experimental therapy. She'd endure anything for that. Maya was organizing medical supplies in the home clinic when she heard them, heels clicking against marble floors. Sharp, deliberate, angry. Victoria Hayes appeared in the doorway, wearing cream-colored silk and holding a coffee cup like a weapon. She looked Maya up and down, her lip curling slightly. "Your new nurse?" "Yes, ma'am. Maya Rodriguez. I don't care about your name." Victoria's voice was ice. "I care whether you can follow instructions. The last nurse couldn't even prepare my vitamin drip correctly. I've been an ICU nurse for 8 years, ma'am. I can handle." "I didn't ask for your resume." Victoria stepped closer. "Here's what you need to know. I don't like incompetence. I don't like excuses. And I definitely don't like nurses who think they can befriend me." Maya met her gaze steadily. "Understood, ma'am." Something flickered in Victoria's eyes. Surprise, maybe, that this new nurse hadn't flinched. "Dr. Hayes needs his blood pressure monitored twice daily. I need my supplements prepared every morning at 6. Don't be late. Don't make mistakes." She turned to leave, then paused. "And don't bother unpacking too much. You won't last." After Victoria left, Mrs. Chun appeared in the doorway. "You handled that better than most. But trust me, it gets worse." Maya simply smiled. "I've held the hand of a dying patient while her family screamed at me that I wasn't doing enough. I've worked 36-hour shifts with doctors who treated me like furniture. And I've sat in a hospital chapel begging God to save my son." She picked up her stethoscope and hung it around her neck. "Mrs. Hayes doesn't scare me. She's just hurt, and hurt people hurt people." Mrs. Chun blinked. "You really are different." Maya shrugged. "No, I'm just tired of running." If you're enjoying this story, hit that like button and subscribe to Folktales by Olivia. Drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. Chapter 2 is coming next. You won't believe what happens when Victoria tests Maya's limits. Maya woke at 4:30 the next morning. Not because she had to, but because she always did. Hospital life had trained her body to function on little sleep and constant alertness. She prepared Dr. Hayes's medications first, checking labels twice, measuring precisely. The doctor was kind, quiet, still grieving in ways that showed in the gentleness of his voice. He thanked her when she took his blood pressure. Victoria's morning routine was different. At exactly 6 o'clock, Maya knocked on the main bedroom door, carrying a tray with Victoria's supplement regimen, vitamins, collagen powder, a custom blend for some exclusive wellness company. Come in. The room was stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the canyon, white furniture, fresh orchids on every surface. Victoria sat at her vanity in a silk robe, already on her phone. Maya set the tray down gently on the bedside table. Victoria didn't look up. Is the collagen mixed with the almond milk or the coconut water? Almond milk, as specified in your chart, ma'am. Temperature. Room temperature, ma'am. Victoria finally glanced over, picked up the glass, took one sip. Her expression remained neutral. It'll do. No thank you. No dismissal. Just silence. Maya turned to leave. Wait. Maya stopped. My bathroom sink, Victoria said, still looking at her phone. There's a water spot on the faucet. I expect everything in this room to be spotless. I'll clean it now, ma'am. As Maya entered the pristine marble bathroom, she noticed it, a single water droplet on the chrome faucet, barely visible. She pulled out a microfiber cloth and wiped it carefully. Then she heard footsteps behind her. Victoria stood in the doorway, arms crossed. You know what your problem is going to be? Maya turned, cloth still in hand. Ma'am, you're too obedient. It's boring. Victoria stepped closer. The last nurse argued with me. At least that was entertaining before I fired her. Maya said nothing. Nothing to say. Victoria's voice had an edge now. No defense. No standing up for yourself. Would you like me to argue with you, ma'am? Maya asked quietly. Victoria blinked. What? I can do that if it makes you feel better. But it won't change anything. You'll still be unhappy, and I'll still need this job. Maya met her eyes. So I'd rather just do my work and go home to my son. The room went silent. Victoria's jaw tightened. Your son? Yes, ma'am. He's in the hospital. That's why I'm here. For just a moment, something shifted in Victoria's expression. Then it hardened again. Everyone has a sob story. It doesn't make you special. I never said it did, ma'am. Victoria stared at her, then turned abruptly and walked out. The rest of the day passed in tense silence. Victoria found reasons to call Maya every hour. The towels weren't folded correctly. The room was too cold. The lunch tray arrived 3 minutes late, even though Maya had delivered it exactly on schedule. Each time, Maya simply said, yes, ma'am, and corrected whatever Victoria claimed was wrong. By evening, Mrs. Chin pulled Maya aside. She's testing you, seeing how much you can take before you break. I know, Maya said calmly. And you're not going to break? Maya thought of Carlos in his hospital bed, his small hand in hers, his voice asking, Mama, when can I come home? No, she said simply. I'm not. That night, Dr. Hayes found Maya in the clinic, organizing supplies. Maya, can I speak with you? Of course, doctor. He sat down, looking tired. I know my wife can be difficult. Maya chose her words carefully. She's grieving something, sir. I can see it. Dr. Hayes looked surprised. How did you? He stopped. Yes, she is. We both are in different ways. My job isn't to judge, sir. It's to help. He nodded slowly. The others, they all quit because of her. But you're different. I'm not different, sir. I just have a stronger reason to stay. As Dr. Hayes left, Maya allowed herself one moment of exhaustion. She sat down, pulled out her phone, and looked at a photo of Carlos smiling, taken before the diagnosis. Just a few more months, baby, she whispered. Mama's going to bring you home. Outside the clinic, hidden in the hallway's shadow, Victoria stood frozen. She'd come to find Maya, to deliver another impossible task. But she'd heard everything, and for the first time in years, Victoria Hayes felt something other than anger. She felt shame. 3 weeks passed. Maya didn't quit. Victoria increased the pressure, earlier wake-up calls, more demanding requests, criticism that bordered on cruel. But Maya remained steady, professional, present. The other staff noticed. The chef started saving extra food for Maya. James, the driver, offered to take her to the hospital on his days off. Even Dr. Hayes seemed to relax more, as if the house itself could finally breathe. But Victoria only grew more unsettled. She couldn't understand it. Every other nurse had cracked under far less pressure. Yet Maya simply endured, a quiet force that couldn't be broken or intimidated. It bothered Victoria in ways she couldn't name. One Saturday afternoon, Maya was in the clinic checking inventory when her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello, Ms. Rodriguez? This is Dr. Patel from Children's Hospital. Maya's heart stopped. Is Carlos okay? He's stable, but we need to adjust his treatment protocol. There's a new immunotherapy trial. Very promising, but it's expensive. Even with your insurance, the copay would be substantial. Maya's hand trembled. How much? Approximately $40,000. The phone nearly slipped from her fingers. She'd been saving, but she had maybe $8,000 set aside. I'll find a way. After hanging up, Maya sat in silence. $40,000. Where would she even begin? The sound made her look up. Victoria stood in the doorway. Maya quickly wiped her eyes and stood. Mrs. Hayes, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you come in. Did you need something? Victoria didn't answer immediately. She studied Maya's face, the red eyes, the trembling hands, the way she was trying so hard to compose herself. Bad news? Victoria asked, her voice oddly gentle. Maya hesitated. My son needs a new treatment. It's expensive. How expensive? $40,000, ma'am. Victoria was silent for a long moment. Then she did something Maya never expected. She walked over and sat down in the chair across from Maya. What's his name? Victoria asked. Carlos, ma'am. How old? 7. What is he like? Maya blinked, confused by the sudden personal questions. He loves drawing. And dinosaurs. He wants to be a paleontologist when he grows up. Victoria nodded slowly. When I was 7, I want to be a dancer. Ballet. My mother said it was a waste of time. She looked away. She said a lot of things were a waste of time, including me. Maya stayed quiet, sensing that Victoria needed to speak. Everyone thinks being wealthy solves everything, Victoria continued. But money can't buy back time. It can't make people love you. It can't fill the emptiness inside when you realize you've become someone you don't recognize. She looked at Maya directly. You're not like the others. Ma'am, the other nurses, they were afraid of me. You're not afraid. You're just here, present, even when I've been horrible to you. Maya spoke gently. You're not horrible, ma'am. You're hurting. I see that. Victoria's eyes glistened. How can you see that when my own husband doesn't? Because I've been hurt too, ma'am. And sometimes the people who've suffered the most recognize it in others. Victoria stood abruptly, as if the vulnerability had become too much. Take the rest of the day off. Go see your son. Ma'am, I have your evening. I'll manage one evening alone, Maya. Go. As Maya gathered her things, Victoria called out, and Maya? On Monday, come see me in my office. We need to discuss something important. Maya left confused but hopeful. That night, Victoria sat alone in her vast bedroom, looking at herself in the mirror. For the first time in years, she saw past the perfect makeup and designer clothes. She saw the lonely girl she'd buried, the one who'd learned that coldness was safer than kindness, that control was easier than vulnerability. She picked up her phone and made a call. Marcus, I need to talk to you about something. Monday morning arrived with unexpected sunshine. Maya walked into the Hayes estate feeling nervous about the meeting Victoria had mentioned. Mrs. Chun met her at the door, eyes wide. Something's different today. Mrs. Hayes was pleasant at breakfast. It's unsettling. Maya smiled slightly. Change can be unsettling. At exactly 9 o'clock, Maya knocked on Victoria's office door. Come in. Victoria sat behind a modern glass desk, but something about her was different. Her hair was pulled back simply. She wore minimal makeup. She looked softer. Sit down, Maya. Maya sat, hands folded in her lap. Victoria slid an envelope across the desk. Open it. Inside was a check. $40,000. Maya's breath caught. Mrs. Hayes, I can't. Yes, you can. Victoria's voice was firm but not harsh. It's for Carlos's treatment. Consider it a bonus for putting up with me these past weeks. Tears welled in Maya's eyes. What? Victoria leaned back in her chair. Because you show me something I've forgotten. Strength isn't about control. It isn't about keeping people at a distance. Real strength is staying gentle even when life has been cruel to you. She paused. I've been cruel to you, Maya. I've been cruel to everyone in this house. And you never reacted with cruelty back. You just kept showing up, kept being kind, kept being present. Mrs. Hayes. Victoria, she interrupted. Please, just Victoria. Maya wiped her tears. Victoria, I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. Victoria stood and walked to the window. I lost my baby. The words hung in the air. 3 years ago, Victoria continued. I was pregnant. 5 months. And then, she closed her eyes. I wasn't careful enough. I fell downstairs at a charity event. The baby didn't survive. Maya's heart broke. I'm so sorry. Everyone told me to move on, to try again, but I couldn't. So I buried the grief and became this ice queen. I thought if I controlled everything, if I made everyone afraid of me, I'd never feel that vulnerable again. She turned to face Maya. But watching you fight for your son, seeing you endure everything with such grace, it broke something open in me, something that needed to break. Maya stood and walked over to Victoria. Grief doesn't have a timeline, and sometimes the strongest thing we can do is let others see our pain. Victoria nodded, tears streaming down her face now. I don't know how to be different. You just start, Maya said gently. One day at a time, one kind word at a time. For the first time since Maya had met her, Victoria smiled. Really smiled. Will you help me? I'm a nurse, Maya said, smiling back. Healing is what I do. The next week brought changes that rippled through the entire household. Victoria apologized to the staff, individually, sincerely. She learned their names, their stories. She asked Mrs. Chun about her grandchildren. She complimented the chef's cooking. She even helped James wash one of the cars, laughing when she got soap on her designer shoes. Dr. Hayes watched his wife transform with wonder and relief. I don't know what you did, he told Maya, but you've given me back the woman I fell in love with. I didn't do anything, sir, Maya said. She was always there. She just needed permission to come back. On Friday, Victoria made an announcement at dinner. The entire household staff was invited. I've decided to start a foundation, she said, for families dealing with childhood illness. We'll help with medical costs, provide support, offer resources. She looked at Maya. It'll be called the Carlos Foundation. Maya couldn't hold back her tears. But Victoria wasn't finished. And Maya, I'd like you to help run it. Part-time, of course. You'll still be our family nurse. But your experience, your heart, your strength, that's what this foundation needs. The room erupted in applause. Later that night, Maya called the hospital. Dr. Patel, we're ready to start Carlos's treatment. 6 months later, the Hayes Estate Garden was decorated with balloons and streamers. A banner read, Welcome home, Carlos, in bright, cheerful letters. Maya stood at the gate, her hands trembling with joy as a car pulled up. Dr. Hayes had insisted on driving to the hospital himself. The back door opened, and out stepped Carlos. Thinner than before, but smiling. Alive. Healing. Mama. Maya ran to him, scooping him into her arms, breathing him in. Mi amor, my baby, you're home. You're really home. Carlos hugged her tight. Dr. Hayes said there's cake, and that I can see the whole house, and that someone really wants to meet me. Oh, sweetheart, so many people want to meet you. And they did. The entire staff had gathered. Mrs. Chun had baked cookies. The chef had made Carlos's favorite foods, mac and cheese, chicken nuggets shaped like dinosaurs. James had hung up pictures Carlos had drawn during his hospital stay. But it was Victoria who appeared next, walking slowly from the house, carrying a wrapped box. She knelt down to Carlos's level. Hi, Carlos. I'm Victoria. Your mom works at my house. Are you the Ice Queen? Carlos asked innocently. Victoria laughed. A real, genuine laugh. I used to be, but your mom taught me how to melt. She handed him the box. Inside was a complete collection of dinosaur books and a stuffed triceratops. Your mom told me you want to be a paleontologist, Victoria said. I think that's wonderful. The world needs more people who dig deep to find hidden treasures. Carlos beamed. Thank you. As the afternoon unfolded with laughter and celebration, Dr. Hayes pulled Maya aside. I have something for you, too. He handed her an envelope. Inside were papers. Legal papers. It's a contract, Dr. Hayes explained, for the position of director of the Carlos Foundation. Full benefits, competitive salary, and a housing allowance. There's a guest house on the property, 3 bedrooms, fully furnished. It's yours if you want it. Maya stared at the papers, overwhelmed. Dr. Hayes, you've given us more than medical care, Maya. You've given us back our humanity, our peace, our hope. He smiled. It's time someone took care of you for a change. That evening, as the sun set over the canyon, Maya sat with Victoria on the patio while Carlos played in the garden, finally well enough to run and laugh. Thank you, Maya said quietly. For everything. Victoria shook her head. I'm the one who should be thanking you. You could have quit. You could have given up. But you stayed. And in staying, you didn't just help your son. You saved me too. We saved each other, Maya said. That's what people do when they stop fighting and start healing. Victoria reached over and squeezed Maya's hand. I'm glad you didn't run. So am I. As darkness fell and fairy lights twinkled in the trees, Carlos ran over and climbed into Maya's lap, exhausted but happy. Mama, is this our home now? Maya looked around, at the garden, at Victoria, at the house that had once felt so cold but now radiated warmth. She thought about the journey that had brought her here. The pain, the perseverance, the impossible becoming possible. Yes, mi amor, she whispered, kissing his forehead. We're home. And for the first time in years, that word meant more than just a place. It meant peace. It meant hope. It meant family. Sometimes the hardest jobs lead to the most beautiful destinations. Sometimes staying when everything tells you to run is the bravest thing you can do. And sometimes the people who seem the most broken are just waiting for someone to show them that healing is possible. Maya Rodriguez had come to the Hayes estate as a nurse, but she left as something far more important. A healer, a friend, a reminder that kindness is never wasted and that love can transform even the coldest heart. The end. Did this story touch your heart? Give us a like and subscribe to Folktales by Olivia for more inspiring, emotional stories that will move you to tears. Comment below telling us what you learned from Maya's journey. Where are you watching from? Share this video with someone who needs hope today. Remember, stay kind, stay strong, and keep believing in the power of love. Until next time, Blue Heart.